There's a part of awakening that doesn't get discussed as much as I feel like it should. It's not the expansion, it's not the clarity, or it's not the empowerment, but it's the loneliness. The loneliness of being able to see things that others can't see. The loneliness of going through such a profound experience in your life and not having the words or understanding to be able to explain it to others when they have not gone through it themselves. The loneliness of going on a different path that you might not even be sure where it's leading you to, and not having the same experience with anyone in your immediate circle. This is a reality, and why going through an awakening can be such a lonely experience. So in today's video, that's what we're going to talk about, why loneliness shows up and just some ways to support you with that, because it's inevitable, it will show up. Hello, my name is Krista, and welcome to another video in the She Awakens series. This is a series I've created specifically for women who are awakening. If you have not seen the previous videos, I'll put a link in the description and you can watch those when you so choose. So today I want to talk about my experience, because that's what I know, and I'm just going to share a little bit about what I've come to understand and some tools and some ways of navigating this to make it a little bit easier. I will say even though it's been years for me, I still struggle with loneliness. It hasn't gone away. So it's not like I'm so far ahead that I don't remember what it feels like. I'm still dealing with that as well too. So I might be further ahead in some ways, but I'm still experiencing the loneliness if you are as well too. So I want to let you know about that too. So let's first of all just talk about what happens when we awaken. So for me, I believe it's really a shift in your consciousness. You're able to see things that you never saw before. And once you're able to see them, there's no way you can unsee it anymore. So that's what is going on. You start to notice patterns in yourself, patterns in relationships that have been there for all of your life that you've never noticed before. You start to see things in the systems in the world and how they operate that you've never noticed before. Things that you've always done, or places you've always hung out, or hobbies you've always had, suddenly just don't feel right anymore. So this is part of the awakening process. And when you are experiencing this and those closest to you are not experiencing this, there's a gap. Like, you're seeing things, you want to have these discussions, you want to have these deep conversations about certain topics that everybody else in your world doesn't even want to talk about. And so there's a gap, and it's not like one is better than the other, or one's further ahead or not. We're going to let all that go. But it is a reality. There's a gap between where you used to be and where you are now. And if you don't have people in your life that have gone through this, it can feel very lonely, no question about it. You're trying to navigate this on your own anyway, and then loneliness certainly does arrive. So that's what I want to talk about. So let's talk about there's four big things I think that I have noticed in my life too. And again, you're seeing things that other people can't. You're seeing things that others can't see. So when you try to talk about it, people might think what you're saying sounds a little out there. They just don't see it. And so sometimes you try at first, but then you start to just kind of get quiet and maybe keep it to yourself. I did that at some points too. You start to recognize that everybody's on their own journey and you can't make anybody awaken at all. And so you're seeing things differently, and that is just a reality as well too. And you feel like some of the people in your life just are having a different experience, even though you could be living in the same house, you're in the same family, the same friend group, but you're starting to see things differently. Secondly, you can't talk about it. It's really hard to talk about. You don't really have the specific language or you don't really know how to navigate what you're going through, because let's face it, it's kind of hard experience to kind of talk about at first. So you're unable to share. There's no shared context, terms, or experiences. You just don't have anybody that's getting it. So that makes it quite lonely for yourself as well too. You feel pretty isolated. You feel like you're on your own. You feel like you're the only one seeing what you're seeing, and the rest of the world is seeing something else. So you start to kind of doubt yourself. You have a little bit of grief, and you start to question things a little bit, which can make the experience quite lonely. Also, what I noticed too is your relationships start to change. Friendships, family members. It's not like there's a big blowout. There's no drama. There's no big event. But you slowly start to just kind of drift away quietly. And you feel it. You sense it. You know it. And so just over time, you are a little bit more lonely, because some of those relationships that have been a big part of your life suddenly are not there anymore. And that obviously can make the experience lonely. And also, I found too, a big one for me is you start to kind of keep your inner world, the experiences that you're feeling, your contemplations, your awarenesses, you keep them private. You just don't talk about them with a lot of people, because you just don't feel like they're on the same, they want to have the same conversations. It just might not resonate with them. So you start to keep your inner world quite private. And when you do this for quite some time, it becomes lonely. So that's part of it as well. So that's why we might be having a lot of loneliness in this awakening journey. I'm also going to share what I have found has helped me at times, and just to kind of give you some ideas. First of all, one thing I found that really helped was finding some online groups. I had to look for this, kind of search a little bit, but they're certainly out there. And I found that quite helpful. I was in a group even earlier this year, the beginning of this year, and I remember we broke up into small groups, and there's just maybe 3-4 of us in these groups, and it was just so wonderful. It was like we were talking the same language, we were talking about the same things, and it just felt so good to me. It just felt so wonderful to be honest and talk about what I wanted to talk about and to hear their experiences. So they're out there, and I would highly encourage you to look for that. And you might find people online first in community groups, more so than probably in your circle of friends, kind of in person. So start there, and they're out there. There are people out there like you, no question about it. We might be kind of scattered, or people might not be talking about this, but they're out there, and I don't want you to kind of think that you're the only one going through this, because you are not. So look for that as well too. I also found learning to be my good friend was part of it. I enjoyed spending time with myself. I learned to enjoy my own company. I enjoyed the solitude, the quiet, the silence, just being myself, being me. I enjoyed that, and I think that's a big part of awakening as well too, learning to be okay on your own and knowing what works best for you, really tapping into your inner wisdom, your guidance, what your soul's speaking to you, so you don't have all this external noise of other people telling you what to do or how you should think. So you really need that time alone to hear, and being your own best friend through this experience, speaking calmly to yourself, speaking nicely to yourself, being aware of that self-dialogue is helpful as well too. So be okay being your best friend and enjoying your company. And I found that quite helpful. And one other thing that I really want to emphasize is just accepting that not everyone's going to join you on your path, and letting that be okay. I remember a time when I was waiting for everybody to wake up, and I kept thinking it was going to come, and I was waiting, and there was an expectation there, and there was a day where I realized that that's not going to happen. and being okay with whether they did or whether they didn't. It didn't matter. And now I kind of see that's just where I was at that point. That was where my awareness was at that point. I don't think that now at all, too. Everyone's doing their own thing. They're on their own journey. Let them have their own experience. Let go of the judgment about that as well, too. You woke up in your perfect way. Let everybody else wake up in their perfect way if they're meant to wake up. If they're not, that's fine too. So really kind of accepting that and being okay that not everyone's going to come with you, and that is perfectly fine. So that was a little bit of, that took me some time, but I realize that now too. So in this video, I want to kind of make sure I wrap up here, not wrap up, but I want to make sure you understand that my wisdom for this as well too, what I want you to remember is it takes years. It takes a long time. Again, I've been in this for years and I still feel lonely. Loneliness, there's nothing wrong with that at all. There is some growth and evolution that is going on in our life too, and that is perfect. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing you have to fix about yourself. What you're going through is a really profound change, and just to kind of go with the flow as they say, and be okay with where you are right now in your journey. Just accept where you are right now and be okay with that. And know that you might be lonely for quite some time. And I'm going to be honest about that. It's still there, and it's okay. Knowing that middle part is probably going to be longer than you think it is too. It's not a quick fix. It's not a quick evolution. It takes time. So it might feel lonelier than you want it to be, or that you expected it to be. So being okay with that is I think something to understand too. Also, we're not losing people per se. We're allowing new people to come into our life. But sometimes, new path, we have to be, we're going down a different path for new people to enter our life. So it's not like we're losing people per se, but you probably are going to find our new soul tribe, our new soul friends, whatever you want to call it, where there's going to be new people that are going to come into your life that are perfectly situated and suited for you as well too. And that's just part of the journey and part of the evolution too. So being okay with that yes, relationships might change, but new people are going to come into your life, whether they have or not yet. They certainly will. And just find those spaces where you can be yourself, where you can be truthful, where you can be honest, and you can 100% be you is a wonderful thing too. So that's what I want to share with you in this video. Again, it can be lonely, and it's still there for me as well too. I wouldn't change a thing though, but I just think it's not spoken about as much as I think it needs to be. There's a lot of other parts of awakening that I think get a little bit more attention, but I think understanding that loneliness is part of it, and you will get through it. You will get through it. And if you are experiencing this, big hugs. I give you grace, compassion that you are going through this. I would have liked a video like this when I was kind of going through the first half. I didn't understand it, and I thought something was wrong with myself and the whole procedure. But really, it's a part of the journey and the evolution. So that is what I want to share with you too. So your people are coming. They are. Keep going. Keep moving down the path every single day. Be kind to yourself. And know that your people are coming if you are feeling lonely. Thank you for being here. Again, if you want to watch the other videos in the She Awakens series, you can find the link in the description, and that will give you an overview. But wishing you all a lovely day, and share in the comments down below if this resonated with you, if you yourself have felt lonely on this journey, and if you have any support for other women too that might be feeling the same thing. That is always helpful. All right. Wishing you all a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.